Hello, ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome to the program. My name is Anthony Sebali, and this is Financial Markets, and this is Smart 24, where we drive your business. Remember, you can find us now on GoTV, channel 394, as well as our YouTube live stream at Smart 24, and on Twitter at Smart 24 TV, so that we can actually keep in touch and give us some feedback. How was your weekend? I hope you had a wonderful weekend. It's the 30th of May, a Monday morning. We are winding up the month, and lots of things are happening. But as well on the financial market scene, lots of things have happened over the past couple of days. That is on the weekend, and we were keeping our hands on the stock markets and how they have been performing over the weekend while you are away. So we are going to dive into that right away. But before we do that, I would just like to remind you what this show is all about. This show is all about financial markets, that is capital markets and money markets, and investment in the equity markets as well. We bring you so many experts in the field, banking sector, in the Capital Markets Authority, from Uganda Securities Exchange, from other exchanges, to share information concerning the capital and money market. Remember, you can always catch the show every Monday to Friday at exactly 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Now, today, later on the show, we are going to be having Mr. Andrew Mwima, who is a trade manager from the Uganda Securities Exchange, and he'll be sharing with us a little bit of how the markets have been performing. As well, last week we had a couple of things going on for MTN, and among them was their annual general meeting, that is their AGM, where they sat with shareholders and shared financial reports and financial results for the financial year ended 2021. And among these shareholders were people who actually enjoyed the initial public offer for MTN last year through purchasing shares, and among the activities that were done was approval of the dividend, which is 4.706, that is per share of MTN Uganda, and also a couple of other things that transpired in the meeting, which we shall be sharing as well along the show. Remember, we are here to help you understand the financial markets, that is one, but as well help you invest in financial markets so you can make money out of that idle or residual saving that you're keeping for yourself. Now, we'll go dive right into the current capital markets and how they have been performing by screen time this morning. Starting off with Bank of Baroda Uganda. Bank of Baroda Uganda is trading at 85 Uganda shillings this morning, and that hasn't changed for the past couple of days there. And the opening price has been 85, and the high and low prices over the past 24 hours have been at 85 Uganda shillings. There has not been any last deal recorded over the past 24 hours. Moving on to British American Tobacco Uganda, that is BATU, is trading at 15,000 Uganda shillings, which is the highest share price on the market for over the 16 listed companies. And its opening price this morning was 15,000, as well as the high and low prices were actually 15,000. Centum Investment Company, a cross-listed company from the Nairobi Stock Exchange, but also listed on the Uganda Securities Exchange, is currently trading at 330.41 Uganda shillings, and that has been an increase from yesterday, or from actually, if you were taking note of the stock prices last week, from about 319 Uganda shillings now to trading at 330. I think Centum Investment has seen a slight growth in share price over the past couple of days, that is since last week, and it's currently this morning trading at exactly 330.41 Uganda shillings per share. Remember, every time share prices go up and down, and so you need actually to keep updating this information. This information is just about 1 or 2 minutes ago, and it could change anytime depending on the demand and supply on the market. Moving on to Cipla Quality Chemicals. Cipla is a locally listed company here in Uganda, Pharma that has been listed on the security since about 2014, and it's currently trading at 70.38, which is a drop in share price from last week, beginning of last week. Cipla was actually trading at 80 Uganda shillings, and the other week Cipla was trading at 88, and this week it's trading at 70.38. So that is a slight decrease in share price right there. Remember, this doesn't mean the company is doing bad whatsoever. It just means the market is not playing in the favor of the company, on the stock market, but doesn't have anything to do with how the company is running. As a matter of fact, Cipla last year, in the last financial year 2021, registered the first profit since the listing of the company back then in 2014, if I'm not mistaken. And I think we have a very good, promising yield result from Cipla Quality Chemicals, that is, as it expands with the building of the anti-cancer drug department. I think we are going to see Cipla grow with time. So if you want to buy yourself shares in Cipla, you only need 70 cents. That is 70 Uganda shillings to buy one share price right there. One share in Cipla Quality Chemical Industries. Moving on to Development Finance Company of Uganda, it's currently this morning trading at 555 Uganda shillings, and that is a constant price that has not changed for the past couple of days and months as well. And it's opening and closing, the high and low prices have been at 555, and the opening price is at 555, and there hasn't been any last deals recorded over the past 24 hours. Moving on to East African Breweries Limited, has seen as well a growth in share price from last week's 4,433.75, and this morning trading at 4,479, a slight increase there in share price at East African Breweries Limited. And the high and low prices over the past 24 hours have been recorded as 4,479.57. Remember, East African Breweries is also a cross-listed company from Kenya that is a brewery and manufactures beverages, as you know, and has been doing good over the last couple of days as well. Remember, Kenyan companies have seen a slight drop in share price starting last week, I think even the other week, but now they're picking up and they're coming back to their strength in terms of share price on the market. Moving on to Equity Bank Limited. Equity Bank Limited this morning is trading at 1,334.34 Uganda shillings, and that has not changed over the last 24 hours. But last week it was trading at 1,320, which shows a slight increase in share price right there for for Equity Bank Limited. And then the high and low prices have been maintained at 1,334.34, and the opening price this morning was 1,334.34. This is how much you need to just buy one share at Equity Bank Limited. Moving on to KCB Group, the biggest local East African commercial bank, that is Kenya Commercial Bank. It's currently trading this morning at 1,161.19, and exactly last week it was trading at 1,130.45, which indicates a slight growth as well there for this Kenyan-based bank. And of course, for Kenya Commercial Bank, later we'll be sharing with you their current CEO, who has just been elected. That is Mr. Russo Paul, coming into the shoes of Mr. Oigara Joshua, who has been the CEO at the Kenyan Commercial Bank for over the past 10 years, with a wealth of achievements like increasing the assets of the bank. I think Mr. Oigara Joshua has done a good job for Kenya Commercial Bank right there, and it's a worthy enterprise to invest in terms of stock. Moving on to Kenya Airways. Kenya Airways this morning is trading at 121.68, which is a slight increase in share price compared to their share price last week, which was 120.43 by the close of business on Friday evening. Remember, the stock here in Uganda opens at exactly 9 a.m. and trading stops at 1 p.m. That's exactly the time frame for our stock market here in Uganda. But you can keep trading even off the market, because stockbrokers keep trading even despite the fact that the market is closed. So Kenya Airways, back to Kenya Airways, it has performed well over the weekend with a gain in share price by over 1.68 Uganda shillings. And the high and low prices have been 121.68, and the opening price this morning has been 121.68. That is Kenya Airways Uganda. MTN Uganda Limited, they just had their official annual general meeting last Friday on the 27th of May at their offices Ginger Road, and they have traded at 188.12 this morning, and their opening price was 188.12, and the high and low prices were 188.12. That is MTN Uganda Limited. Then the National Insurance Corporation, MTN Uganda, for that note, didn't have any drop or increase in share price over the weekend. It was maintained at the same price, 188.12. Remember, their dividend, they have declared a dividend of 4.706, and we hope that the annual general meeting actually approved that, because as shareholders you have to approve the dividend which the company has declared. Moving on to National Insurance Corporation, it's trading currently at 6.10 Uganda shillings, and the high and low prices have been 6.1, and that hasn't changed over the past couple of days and weeks as well. Actually week for National Insurance Corporation. Moving on to Nation Media Group. Nation Media Group last week, by the close of last week, was trading at 633.62, and opening this week with a grand 619.52. So that is a slight drop in share price right there for this cross-listed company from Kenya, the Nation Media Group. Its high and low prices have been 619.52, and the opening price this morning is 619.52. Next, moving on to New Vision Printing and Publishing Company Limited. It's currently trading at 155.0 Uganda shillings, and the high and low prices have been 155, and the opening price this morning was 155. Not much of a change there for the company that has been listed on the exchange for quite some time. It hasn't had a change in share price for quite some time, and not much activity there for New Vision Printing and Publishing Company Limited. Stanbic Bank Uganda, moving on to Stanbic Bank Uganda, which was, by the way, one of the companies ranked among the top 250 companies that did well in the financial year ended 2021. And they'll also be having their annual general meeting this Thursday. If I'm not mistaken, I'll check, but this Thursday they're supposed to be having their to be a virtual annual general meeting for all their shareholders. So you can check out that later on their website and see that you attend that meeting if you are a shareholder at Stanbic Bank Uganda. It's currently trading at exactly 23 Uganda shillings, and the high and low prices for the company have been 23 Uganda shillings. The opening price this morning was 23 Uganda shillings. Moving on to Uganda Clays Limited. Uganda Clays Limited is trading at 18.1. That hasn't changed from the Friday price, which was 18.1 as well, with the last deal was recorded on Friday as well, but the share price has not changed at all, with the price maintained at 18.1 Uganda shillings right there as well. Later on, I'll also be informing you when Uganda Clays will hold their annual general meeting, so you can note the dates. Moving on to Umeme, the company on the exchange with the highest turnover for the period ended March 2022, according to the CMA report that was released in April, earlier in April. Umeme is trading currently at 240 Uganda shillings, and the high and low prices have been recorded at 240, and the opening prices have been recorded at 240 Uganda shillings. Now remember, Umeme just declared a dividend of over worth 73.2 billion that is going to be released to NSSF. NSSF is one of the biggest investors in Umeme Uganda, with over 23% of the shares in Umeme. It's going to receive a dividend worth 73.2 billion Uganda shillings. That's exactly what I'm talking about out there, for you to actually start investing and earning through these dividends. Because when you invest, it takes time, but at the end of the day, you reap. And we can see that just like NSSF has reaped for its stakeholders, that's people who are saving with the pension scheme. And NSSF always declares probably an interest rate of between 12, 13, 11% for all its pensioners, because it invests wisely and it invests on the stock market. So Umeme right there is trading at 240 Uganda shillings, and also declared a dividend of over 59.1. Now that is a good dividend. For every share you have in Umeme, you will get yourself 59.1, and that's quite impressive of Umeme, because Umeme has been struggling, but lately actually picked up and is a very profitable company, and many people are looking forward to investing in it. The major challenge facing these investments is that most of the investors in these companies are foreign entities. You find companies from Europe, from USA have a big lion's share. They have a lion's share of the the capital of these Umeme shares. So they take away all the dividends at the end, because they saw that the company could actually do well. They invested in it, and now when the dividend comes, they take it back to their countries. And this is exactly what we are trying to stop right here. We want you and I, who are here locally present in Uganda, to invest in our own companies and raise capital for them, so that these companies grow. And whenever these companies grow, you grow as a shareholder, with a dividend, with capital gains, with all these other benefits that come with being a shareholder in one of these big entities. Remember, another benefit is that you can use your shares as security for you to access, actually as collateral, for you to access a loan. A loan. Recently, the NSSF regulations, which actually a little bit switched up by UBRA, that is the Uganda Retirement Benefits Regulatory Authority, that pensioners who have served with the scheme, with any scheme that is regulated by UBRA, that includes NSSF and other schemes, for over 10 years at least, can actually use 50% of their pension or their savings as securities to access a mortgage or a home loan, in order to either reconstruct, renovate, or actually construct a house or home for themselves before retiring. So, all these benefits are coming as a result of investment in the capital markets, and particularly the equity market. So that is exactly what we are all about here on the show, encouraging you to save and invest. We're going to go into a short break, but when we return with your top stories that are making headlines on the financial markets here in Uganda, across East Africa and the globe as well. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.